Circle Rants. Mark out with us. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Squared Circle Rants podcast, hosted by me, Mr. Awesome RC Gade. Sorry it's been a little bit since I posted a video. I got, what's that called? Oh, the common cold. So it's been a little rough, but here I am. I'm sure I could have posted something, but God, I was just sounding really nasally and, you know, not lump, but yeah, I just didn't like how I sounded. I was just out of it. Wasn't the worst I ever had. Thank you, vitamins. But here I am back to talk about the wonderful world of wrestling. The weird, wonderful, what's that word? There's so many different words you can use for this. But let's jump right in. Let's talk about Wargames. God, I miss William Regal. But yes, Wargames happened. Got its final nail in the coffin by Vince McMahon. No, he didn't physically come out and, but the symbolism. I mean, this was the end. We all knew it was, we all knew Black and Gold NXT, the NXT that we all love, that we all got excited for every takeover, is gone. It's been gone. But this, to me, just signified, and especially in the last match, final nail in the coffin. You know, a lot of people still leaving, not wanting to participate. I mean, even behind the scenes, this is just getting... Well, behind the scenes on the camera, we got Gargano gone. I know, good rhyme. O'Reilly's gone. Beth Phoenix leaving. Scotty Too Hottie, who has been helping behind the scenes, just finally went, I'm not having fun anymore, essentially, and he's gone, which is sad. You know, that's the saddest part to me is, you know, saying, I'm not having fun anymore. I mean, people could say, well, you know, job's a job, you don't have fun. Yeah, but these are careers. You know, people who put their body on the line, so, you know, to hurt yourself constantly, you gotta have some enjoyment out of it. But yes, War Games happened. There was a lot of, but some good match, like that tag team match, Imperium versus O'Reilly and Von, whatever the frick his name is, was good. Von Wagner actually looked pretty good. I'm sure that was with the help of the more experienced wrestlers in the ring with him. But aside from the main event, that was easily match of the night. Kept my attention the whole way through. The weirdness of Von Wagner turning on O'Reilly, which is just bad booking. I mean, come on, he got screwed over by his best friend. They had some good matches. He was going to go on his own. Then all of a sudden, oh, you can trust me, Kyle. You can trust... What the fuck was that? But he didn't fully take out O'Reilly. O'Reilly got him back. It's like, you think I'm stupid? I like that. That was kind of cool. The beginning of the night was just... I mean, thank you. I'm not saying this because, oh, you just hate female wrestling. No. It was just sloppy. Like, there was some funny or good spots, but most of it was just, they were waiting. Like, they were told what to do, and you could tell. Like, they were just waiting for the next step. There was even one point, one of the, Toxic Attraction girls, her partner gets beat down, and she just stands there. Oh, next spot. It was freaking... I'm like, go back. I can't remember the exact spot, but I remember that. I know the crowd... Oh, God, the crowd. That was actually what I think saved the match a little. Just... I mean, and all night. I love this crowd. Like, they knew the match was horrible, but they just went with it. You know, one of the only times you don't care that the crowd hijacked the show. Like, that made it better. But it was decent. It was all right. And actually, before I was going to watch War Games anyway, but I wasn't too excited. But what really sold me, especially for the main event, was the, internet exclusive, or WWE.com exclusive, excuse me, LA Knight, or the black and gold, boys in the back, and that LA Knight promo. Oh, dude, that got me pumped. I mean, thank you. Thank you, LA Knight. And actually, the match itself was awesome. I didn't like the ending. I know a lot of us didn't. But the match itself, those guys put on one hell of a show. But I am sad that it's all over. We're not going to have Gargano anymore. We're not going to have O'Reilly. Phoenix is, it's all these people. And it's just sad. There's still some good wrestlers in there. There's, still some good entertainment. That's for all of WWE. If it was completely horrible, we wouldn't watch it. But there is stuff that keeps us engaged. But there is a lot of stuff that you gotta go, that was stupid. Well, like the fact that we had a guy who definitely wasn't 205 pounds. I'm not fat shaming. I got poundage on me right now. But the ridiculousness of even having this match, and then the idea or the thought that we could have a all-inclusive title, which just gives me a freaking headache. But it was a good match. I got to give it that. Gacy really showed his skills, but thank God they kept the title on Roderick, though I am scared that WWE is still going to do something. They're still going to ruin the Cruiserweight Championship. Look at 205 Live. No one freaking watches that show anymore. But all in all, it was a good show. I'll give it that. It was decent. There's a lot of things I wish we could change or go back to, but never going back. But anywho, now that we're done, or I'm done, talking about War Games, let's go through the headlines. I know, I'm trying to be professional. No, these are just, weird headlines that I have shared to the Squared Circle Rants page over on Facebook. Go ahead and join us. You can share your own articles that you found interesting, memes, or just give us your straight opinions, and we might respond. But anywho, this I found just an interesting headline and this is from essentiallysports.com. That back in LeBron James refused to meet The Undertaker in 2016 despite the dead man standing at the door. Apparently, according to this, the WWE and The Undertaker were invited to the Cavaliers game. And it so happened that The Undertaker was outside the locker room for almost an hour, but James did not turn up. There's an explanation to why the NBA star did not come out, and it's not that The Undertaker fans will be happy about. Yeah, get ready for this. Whoever was saying this said, here's a life lesson. If you don't have an appointment, don't already know James personally, aren't a business associate, or a small child, the odds of, he put in the, quotes, meeting James before or after a Cavs game in or near the locker room are not great. I once saw Houston Astros stud second baseman Jose, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, try to get a meeting with James after a game against the Houston Rockets in Texas. The request came through various team PR officials. let's just say James had no interest. Well, good for you. But here it goes on, and this is what really got me. And I quoted it when I shared the headline. I forgot whoever this PR guy is. Another rule. James is not cool with someone purposely trying to make money or gain fame through him, away from the court. In other words, no PR stunts that don't benefit James. He wore an Undertaker t-shirt. For him, that's enough. What a freaking douche. And so let me read that again. Another rule. James is not cool with someone purposely trying to make money or gain fame through him. Now, I know this was back in 2016, but James, The Undertaker was famous before anybody who even knew who the fuck you were. So, wow. I mean, wow. Like, he just wanted to come meet you, but you're like, man, I don't want him making money off of me. Dude makes more money than you. And he's sacrificed more than you. So, right there, buddy. Jesus. I mean, tell me what you think, but that's just freaking ridiculous. I mean, even if you are, a James fan, you got to think what a douche move. Me, I'm not just not a James fan. I'm not really a basketball fan, baseball fan. I know certain names, but as you can tell, I'm mainly just a wrestling fan. But, oh my God, the audacity. It just got me. It really did. But moving on, before I get really pissy, another great headline, this came from Mandatory. Was Randy Orton and Natalya recognized by the Guinness World Records? The record set by Randy Orton and Natalya at WWE Survivor Series did not go unnoticed by the marquee keeper of record breaking. Guinness World Records happened to cover both historic moments for the two stars, as it was Randy Orton passing Kane with 177 WWE pay-per-view appearances, while Natalya garnered the most WWE pay-per-view appearances by women's wrestler with 68. And then they show the article, but not just Mandatory. This is WrestleZone. Mandatory is a part of them, or it's what they call. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. But that was really cool. Something cool for WWE and Randy Orton. I mean, he looks in great shape, great attitude. Another feather to put in his cap there. God, does anyone say that anymore? I don't know. I think I was just trying to freaking seem cool there. Although him and what he's doing with Riddle, it's stupid, but it's good. Like, it's hard to explain. I like seeing it constantly. The, okay, Randy. Just the way he says it. All right, Randy. We can do this, man. Oh, and actually, this isn't a headline, but it's something I posted. I had yet another encounter. I didn't think this was going to happen again. Another encounter with a fake Mandy Rose. The first time this happened, oh my God, how long ago? I want to say 6 months. I was on Instagram. And then it was essentially, she's like, hey, thanks for liking my post and my pictures. And I'm like, at first I just kind of, okay, kind of brushed her off. Whatever you say. She goes, what? I'm the real Mandy Rose. And I'm like, and then I really just kind of let her have it. Like, no, you're fucking delusional is what you are. And then she even tried to send pictures to see. It was just random. I'm sure she copy pasted. But anyway, Yeah, this was about 5 days ago. I even forgot, like, I have the screenshots. I even forgot what I was in there looking at. I was just looking at random, like a random article, and I was looking through the comments, and I see a Mandy Rose. And you go to her profile. I'm not going to show you a picture. You could find it, I'm sure, but these were just screenshots of it. But she said to one guy, what was it? Just tagged a guy, inbox me. Why? And someone else, why? So he can attack you at the next WWE live show for scamming him out of money. If y'all remember what happened to Rollins, or what the guy said the reason he attacked Rollins for. And me, I was just being a smartass. I'm like, seems legit. And then she went to me saying, text me. And I'm like, no. But what makes it weird is then she went, I think, oh man, how many times? Or 2 or 3 times. Oh, I put it in the comments that way. I'm sorry. 2 or 3 times she went to just random public post I had. Most of the time I just, on my Facebook, I just share stuff between me and my friends, but she found public ones and then just kept saying, text me. And I'm like, oh shit, we got a clinger. But luckily, like, it didn't last long. She stopped. But she didn't stop after the first time I said, no, I'm going to talk to you. But it's just, I'm like, what is it? Is she really that delusional to think she's Mandy Rose, or is it a scammer with no end game here? I just don't understand it. Like, they get a high off, yeah, Mandy Rose, don't you know? Like, no, you're not. Because Mandy Rose wouldn't randomly be asking me to text her. I know. I probably scare the hell out of the real Mandy Rose. Take one look at me. Ah! But no, if the real Mandy Rose ever saw this, hi. Anywho. Oh, this one. We got to bring this up through the headlines. This from WrestleZone as well. The Briscoes to FTR. We're done talking. Pull up and fight us. Oh, and Dax responds, but I got to say right off the bat, I love this. Not only because we all know Ring of Honor is sadly going away or taking a break. I hope they're coming back. But I love that, guys like FTR, the Briscoes, they're really utilizing social media to sell this rivalry. And I love it. I've been trying to keep track on it. But it says here, tensions continue to rise between the Briscoes and FTR. In previous interviews, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood have made it clear that they want to make the dream bout between the two teams a reality. Earlier this week, the Briscoes made it clear that they're only one phone call away. In a subsequent tweet, Harwood offered to get the brothers some real wrestling gear using his own money. Now, the 11-time Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions have fired back by posting a video on their Twitter page, so you can go check that out. In it, Jay Briscoe delivers a passionate message and makes it clear that they're done playing games online. They're ready to fight. He invited FTR to pull up and specifically named Dallas on Saturday. That's so this month. Well, I doubt they showed up because we would have heard about it. But where a GCW So Alive event is going to be. And Baltimore Ring of Honor Final Battle, End of an Era as 2 possibilities. At this point, I'm not going to try to do his voice. You can imagine, angry. Briscoe says, Jay, that is, at this point, I'm done talking with y'all, man. No more playing this Twitter bullshit. Oh, they edited it out a lot. Bull S, F that, pull up, baby, pull up. We're going to be in Dallas, Texas tomorrow night. We're going to be in Baltimore next week. Pull up. We right here, mother. You get the gist. Jay Briscoe, not well known for subtlety at all, but that's why we love him. But man, I'd love to see this match. I haven't seen the Briscoes wrestle in quite a while, but every time I do see them, they're in phenomenal shape. And of course, they've been doing tag team wrestling, well, longer than FTR, and they know what they're doing. And I'd love to see these two just mesh together. I know a lot of us would really like to see it on AEW television. That would be another, up rating and everything. But moving from that, let's go to WWE, where Cultaholic.com has shared that WWE's Corey Graves says The Miz doesn't get nearly enough credit. And before I say my opinion, WWE Raw commentator Corey Graves doesn't think The Miz gets the credit he deserves, and the savior of misbehavior, I haven't heard that tag with him for a while, believes the two-time WWE champion should be in the same conversation as the likes of John Cena, Edge, Randy Orton. And he says, Miz is, in my opinion, for my money, maybe the most unsung yet valuable player in WWE. Because for years, until recently, Miz has never been injured. Miz can get a reaction. Miz can put on a good match with anybody. Miz is just the all-purpose utility guy that for some reason is never viewed in the same light with a Randy Orton, with an Edge, with John Cena. But in my opinion, if you look at the Miz's body of work in WWE and beyond, absolutely Miz belongs in those conversations. I understand his character is such that he's grating and he's not a tough guy, badass type, but that's what makes Miz so special. Miz can get under your skin, speak like very few in this business can, and has done so for a long, long time. And for me, I don't know why I pointed at myself there, Miz doesn't get nearly enough credit. And you know what? I have to agree. I will sing the praises of The Miz to anybody. I think he walks that fine line between, superstar entertainer and professional wrestler, and he does it well. Like, you really look at where he started, he was just a reality show guy that went, I can get into the wrestling business, and, wasn't a good start, but he was learning, and look at him now. Like, he's evolved, and he's actually one of the top heels out there. He's a different type of heel, which is good, but he can always get the crowd going just with little jabs or outright saying, like, what was it, last night on Raw, or not last night, Monday. I just love, he really overplaying the heel, but not too much. But he was like, you noticed that my wife's not here. But that's because my wife would never come to Memphis, Tennessee. And, the crowd, hey, what the... Sadly, that got more of a reaction than Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan did in the main event. But anyway, back to the headlines. Well, actually, no, I was watching it. Actually, let's just talk about it right now because it's fresh in my head. It was an okay match. I kind of knew Liv wasn't going to win, but I was really excited she was getting a shot at the title, getting, good camera time. But God, the crowd was just not into it. I mean, you heard, very lightly, Liv, or ooh. And it was like towards the end of the match, they started livening it up. But if you watch the start of the match, they're just, okay. Well, you see a couple, hey, but it's just kind of sad. But yeah, where The Miz can say one thing, boom, that's the mark of a good heel, and he deserves a lot of credit. Next thing I wanted to talk I'll bring this up. and clarify. Like, it wasn't as huge of a deal as I thought it was at the time. I was drinking a little something, so I got excited. But it said from 6 years ago, but I just found it. I found this weird or just coincidental that while MJF and Punk are starting a thing, and MJF is actually another great heel. He's actually one of the best today. And then, of course, they mention he's the lesser known Miz, whatever. I just found it really coincidental that then all of a sudden WWE shared his Tough Enough video. But when I looked at it later, it said, this is from 6 years ago. And I'm going, why did it pop up now? So I could have just got overexcited thinking, they put it out, they just for some reason shared it now. But you can understand. I was just excited. And of course, you get a few drinks in you. Did you hear that? Did you see that? Well, this is not an article, but this is just an interesting point. Perched on the top rope, shared this picture, which you could see on Facebook, their site, our site, but I had to share it. The description, WWE SmackDown is a 2-hour show. The 2-hour show this week had only 16 minutes and 37 seconds of wrestling. AEW Rampage is a 1-hour show. The 1 hour had one match that went long, then the wrestling, or had one match, at least one match. I mean, they had like 3 that night, but in just one match for that hour show went longer than all of the matches on SmackDown. And that was, of course, the FTR versus Penta and Pac, and that went 18 minutes, 19 seconds. Just one match alone was longer than the whole of SmackDown. And they actually break it down in this picture here. So, like I said, that match was 18 minutes, 19 seconds. Sasha Banks defeated Shayna Baszler in 8 minutes and 56 seconds. Los Lotharios, I don't know what that name means. I'll have to Google it. But that's Angel and Humberto, defeated the Viking Raiders in 1 minute and 36 seconds. King Xavier Woods defeated Jey Uso via DQ, 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Sheamus defeated Cesaro, 3 minutes, 47 seconds. And then the big Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn, just 16 seconds. Bravo, WWE. Bravo. God. I mean, I understand you want to lean more on the entertaining side, but you're still wrestling. Because if you weren't, why would you be WWE anymore? Anywho. Oh, this was just interesting. This comes from comicbook.com. That Bray Wyatt, or now going by his real name, Wyndham Rotunda, and WWE's Almost got their Twitter accounts hacked. Former WWE champion Bray Wyatt and current WWE star Almost had their Twitter account seemingly hacked on Sunday afternoon. Wyatt's account midway through the afternoon. Fireflies, I was able to receive an extra PS5 from a sponsor, and I wanted to sell to one of you guys for retail price. I can ship anywhere in the USA. DM's open. Which right away should give you a hint that something was fishy. Because who the hell just goes, hey man, I mean, if you're friends, hey man, you want to buy this? that's one thing, but come on, I doubt, the Fiend is going to sell off. But yes, it was, people were reporting it on Twitter saying they actually DM'd him, maybe out of curiosity. And they showed the screenshots, but it was confirmed by says Joanne, but JoJo, who is currently Bray Wyatt's girlfriend or fiance, I don't know, I haven't kept up on it in quite a while. But confirmed Wyndham's Twitter has been hacked. Please do not respond to the current post. And essentially the same thing happened to Almost, apparently. So the same kind of hackers just trying to scam people out of money. How wonderful of them. Oh, that's kind of well, that's not something newsworthy there. Blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? I guess that's it. I'm out of headlines. I'm out of steam. I'm all gassed up, man. But hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the show, as always, please like, share, subscribe. Really helps me out. Really gets more people to watch. As I said earlier, please join us over on Facebook, Squared Circle Rants page. There also is a Squared Circle Rants Instagram page where I do some shitty stuff, and I've been starting to do real reviews, which I did for NXT Wargames. Essentially, I just give quick little reels of what I thought as the show was going on. Hope you enjoy that. Anything you wanted to add to this show, anything you disagreed with, anything you liked, please comment in the comments below or over on Facebook. But you just do you. This is Mr. Awesome RC Gade, and thank you for marking out with us. Circle Rants. Mark out with us.